Welcome to the Vault Excel. Thank you for joining me. Happy 4th of July. Uh, I had reservations about what I was going to say during this live stream, but due to the notifications I got yesterday from videos pertaining to Taylor Casey missing, it got me to thinking. And with it having me thinking, I started digging. And what I found is that Taylor Casey, I do believe, is transgendered from what I've seen on her Facebook page. There are a lot of, what shall I say, conversations with her friends, um, posts that show what is believed to me to be men that are painted as, in makeup. So that got me to thinking either one of them, because I can't say for sure. Um, she is either a female wanting to be a male or born biological male wanting to be a female. I'm not really sure. Um, I noticed, of course, naturally in the photographs of her that she appeared masculine in her features. But, you know, many people, whether they're male or female, can have a certain distinctive look, and that depends on the perception of the person that's looking. But as someone, two or three people were saying in an article, under the videos, you all should be looking for a man. That's what made me, stop to think. And I did say to one person, hey, why are you saying this? And then another person was like, oh, I agree. So it got me to thinking and it got me to digging. And the things I've seen on her Facebook page is suspicious in nature that would lead me to believe that she was transforming into someone. That's why I said I don't know how she was born, her identity, but it's obvious from what I've seen on the Facebook page. Because when I say Queen went all the way into the Facebook page to the very last post on her page, it is evident that she was in transition to something, someone, just from the conversations from a friend talking about you the one to show me not to get upset about using the word he, she. You also see things posted saying them, those, things like that. That's not something a straight person would have on his or her Facebook page. That they just wouldn't. Whether they want to acknowledge, transgender people, I just don't see a straight person putting the things that I saw on their Facebook page. And one thing I did notice that was strange to me is that she changed her profile a lot. As far as, how you change your profile picture on Facebook, to a picture of yourself or a cat or a dog or your mom, your dad, whatever. It was often. And that's what drew me to believe that she was in what we would call the metamorphosis stage, especially when you use the butterfly a lot. You show the butterfly. We already know basically the symbolism of a butterfly, how the butterfly starts out. So you will see that often on the Facebook page, memes of butterflies, because a butterfly starts a certain way until it becomes, starts in the cocoon, and then it turns into a butterfly. A butterfly is not born as, a colorful butterfly. So I did a little digging, and I do believe that Taylor Casey is possibly a male. If I'm to go by the posts that I found on the Facebook page, okay? Why I'm saying this is because it got me to thinking of what some of the people were saying on the videos in their commentary. You should be looking for a man. You should be looking for a man. Well, it's not to be disrespectful, but they may be on to something. If indeed Taylor is a biological male, could that be the reason that she is missing? That she misrepresented herself to someone on that island in the class or something? Maybe went on a date, maybe went for drinks, lunch, dinner, I don't know. And the person found out she is not who she says she is. Because I can look at the Facebook pictures. Let me tell you, Queen dug deep. There's one picture where she looks feminine, long hair, beautiful hair. I mean, long. And she has on this red, like, what I would call, not a tube top, but, a very provocative looking type of tank top blouse. Very feminine, where breasts are, visible, in the shirt, low cut rather, is what I'm trying to say. It looked like she had a little bit of breasts in that red blouse. But what's weird to me is that when I go through the photographs I've seen of her on the mother's Facebook page and hers, all her recent photographs, she's wearing button-up shirts that are what would be identified as male looking. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's when I realized something was off. Something is off. I said, how do you go from a few years ago, long hair, this provocative looking, red tank top, looking feminine, look like you have a little bit of breast, to now you look flat chested in button-up shirts. So I don't know if, as I said, because I want to make sure I'll be very clear in this live stream, I don't know if she was born male or female, but you can tell that there is something amiss in the identity. And when you look at the post on the Facebook page, it is obvious. It starts off subtle, but then you get the point as you continue to, scroll through the Facebook posts, the conversations between she and her Facebook friends. She was in transition. Because even someone made a mention of a picture where she's standing at some type of function. It's out in public and the hair is long. She's got glasses on and somebody said, "Oh, I didn't recognize you, blah, blah, blah." And then it goes on to say, "Oh, you kind of favor your mother, blah, blah, blah." And the hair was long with braids. And then she's like, "Oh, yeah, it makes me want my braids back." So when you look at that photograph, you're assuming that's a female even in that photograph of her. But like I said, I can't say that that's a she even in that photograph. It looks like it could be a woman, but it could be that indeed she's a biological male. And at that time, she was emulating a female. So it's either one. So to make that clear, it's either one. She's either a biological female wanting to now be a male, or she's a biological male who once emulated a female, but now has gone back to basically being a bit masculine. Take your pick. I don't want to say. I'd rather get confirmation. Now, with careful observation from going into the Facebook page, could it be that is why she's missing? One, she was in turmoil with her identity. She went to the Bahamas to find herself, but didn't. And maybe possibly she unalived herself. Okay? Because now looking at the Facebook page, that could be a possibility. And I said that yesterday before even digging up the Facebook page and finding what I found. That's number one. Number two, she misrepresented herself to someone and they found out she's not who she said she was. And there was an altercation, a struggle, and they unalived her. Okay? Or number 3, she had an altercation with someone and was unalived. Number 4, this is a ruse. She's somewhere on that island and playing possum, in cahoots with somebody and laying low. That's my assertion pertaining to Taylor Casey. And the gist of the story is the obvious, whether you like this commentary or not. The person now, after careful observation and what I have found, it makes sense that, Colette, you need to tell people that Taylor is either a male or a female, because in the end, it is your child and your child is missing. If you have not disclosed that that is a biological male representing himself as a female, some people are going to say, well, that's deceptive. Why would you not tell people that you have a transgender child? And I get it. People are entitled to his or her privacy, but let's be truthful. Once you go missing, there is no privacy, because detectives, law enforcement, the state, who is now getting involved in this case, they will need to know that, because that is relevant to possibly why your child is missing. Could it be a hate crime? Somebody discovered she's not a female. See, you have to be honest in your commentary. And maybe you don't want people to know she's a biological male, but your child is missing. And this is not something you want to duck around and dick around with. So, Colette, is she a biological male, your daughter? I did not want to have to address this, but it bothered me yesterday because I came to her defense that she is a female. I said to the people who were commenting, a few people who commented, I said, how dare you say, she's go look for a man. Because I thought it was rude. Because, just because a person seems feminine or masculine does not mean that they are, that sex. As we've seen with many, women athletes, they are biologically females, but they have, what I'm saying, a masculine a representation, rather. But it doesn't mean they're not a female, they're not a biological female. But due to the fact that this female is missing, this could be very relevant into why she is missing, either on her own accord or misrepresentation to someone on the island. Could have went for drinks, could have went for rendezvous, and they found out, oh, this isn't a female, this is a man, or vice versa, which is so ever. And we have seen this happen. I mean, I was just looking at briefly a YouTube video not too long ago, a few hours ago. A guy unalived a guy, high schoolers, in a park or some type of nonsense, because he really couldn't come to grips with who he is. He's homosexual. So he kills this other kid. So that led me to believe, okay, well, you two had to have something going on, because that doesn't make any sense for a homosexual to kill another homosexual. That's idiotic. You had to have been talking to him, dealing with him, messaging, texting, something for you to just one day unalive him. So you're killing yourself, basically. But that's the whole point. Ideology is a dangerous thing, because I don't have to agree with why somebody would unalive someone. But self-hate can lead you to murder. So is this person a biological male or biological female? Is this a male who has been representing himself as a female, or a female representing herself as a male? I'm not Sure, but I know it's one or the other. I'll put my money on that from what I've seen on the Facebook page. Celebrating Transgender Day, mentioning transgender, that was mentioned 2 times in the post that I found. So most straight people wouldn't be, I don't think, celebrating that. Not saying they wouldn't acknowledge it, but I'm going to go with the latter, that Taylor Casey is a transgender person. One or the other. Which side? I'm not here to argue. The point I'm making is, does it have something to do with why she's missing? Because as I said before in my commentary, this could be an issue of fraud. Someone wanted to use a passport identification to get off the island to, go abroad, America, whatever, sell that information, for the highest dollar because her passport is missing. So that is very strange to me. And then someone mentioned to me on the page saying, well, maybe they took her, kidnapped her, and made sure they took her passport so she wouldn't be able to get off the island. But let's be truthful. I don't know if I even believe that. So basically you're saying somewhere on that tiny island, she's held captive and they're using her for what? Prostitution? I don't know if I believe that. Because as I said, when you look at the demographics of the island, it's very small. You look at the view that Mr. Enton showed you from where that ashram is located to the nearest hotel. It's a nice piece of a walk. And you couldn't get there, you know what I'm saying, by car. So that means you're going by foot carrying your luggage. Make it make sense if you're transporting a body. That means you would need help. So then you got to ask yourself, nobody's going to do this during the daytime, transporting a body from the ashram to the location of where they want to hold the body. Or is she held up somewhere on, I don't know, within the ashram? I'm not sure. Because all I saw were tents lined up beside each other. I don't know how you could hold somebody there hostage. Because it's close proximity, you know what I'm saying? One tent to the other. So it is what it is. That's my brief commentary pertaining to Taylor Casey, who is currently missing out of the Bahamas. There's been a lot said by her mother and her friend. They are not pleased with the information that they have gotten from authorities, and the state is now involved in finding her. Chicago has issued a missing persons alert, which I'm so grateful. Those of you who follow this network know that is where the Queen is from. So I'm very grateful and humbled that Chicago has issued a missing persons alert. But I am questioning this passport business. And as I said in my previous commentary, where is her driver's license? Where is her credit card? That has not been mentioned to the public. And I think the mother should have said, well, I do have her driver's license. I do have her credit card, debit card, because people are going to want to know, do you have those items or you don't? Do the police have those items? It has also been said that the police has her journal. What's in her journal? Because as I said just a few minutes ago, starting off on this live, I'm almost 20 minutes into this live, if indeed Taylor was having identity issues, battling her identity, it is what it is. It's the obvious. You don't know the mind frame of a person who is battling an identity crisis. So you can't speak of what they would and would not do. It's easy to say, well, they wouldn't unalive themselves. They wouldn't hurt themselves. But if a person is battling with an identity crisis, they could possibly unalive themselves. And I question that as well, but I didn't want to say it in a live stream as not to disrespect the family. But that is one of my options, that perhaps She has unalived herself. 2, it is foul play. Okay? 3, human trafficking, fraud for the passport. Or 4, she's deliberately hiding out somewhere on the island or somewhere nearby. Those are the options I have at the moment. But I do believe, Ms. Collette, that you need to tell the State Department and the officials in the Bahamas that your child is possibly either female representing herself as a male and or a biological male representing himself as a female. Because that could possibly be the reason why your child is missing. It's that he was representing himself as a female, possibly went on a date, didn't want to tell the man that he's a woman, male, which is whatever, however you want to word it, and things turned very ugly. But as I said, you have to use deduction on getting the person gone because you are on an island. You're not in a small town. You're not in a big city where you have avenues to dispose of a body. So your main option is hiding the person out in a house, cottage, and or the ocean. So that's my commentary for this morning. As I said, I do not want to disrespect Miss Collette, but from reading commentary yesterday where I got notifications, it got me to thinking, why are these people commenting, look for a man, look for a man? And it bothered me because like I said, I quit back saying, how dare you say that about her? Because I've looked at the pictures and thought she looked masculine, but I just never said it during a live stream. I didn't want to say it. But my spirit told me, Queen, there's a reason they're saying it. Go investigate. So I did. And what I found on her Facebook page, it alludes to the fact that she was transitioning and or crossing over and or crossed over. We'll leave it at that. As I said, she's either a biological female wanting to be a guy or biological male wanting to be a female. Take your pick. But I can see the difference in one photograph of her looking feminine in one picture with a slinky top on versus now the button-up shirts and the natural hair. It's strange to me. I don't want to say strange, but you can see the difference rather where she's changing from one to the other. Whether she was representing herself biologically a male, but was representing herself as a feminine female a few years ago. And then maybe she changed and said, well, I don't want to do that anymore, which this has happened in young people. They go back to their regular self. Naturally they're gay, but they say, well, I'm just going to go ahead and be the guy, the masculine male. I don't want to do the feminine female. But the mother needs to tell authorities that her child is transgendered because police, the State Department, FBI, they need to know that. It's only right that they know that because they are dealing with a situation they know nothing about. So they've got to decide who's telling the truth about last seeing her, hearing from her, if she attended a class or not, the patrons, any type of altercations, funny words, funny looks. Did she venture over to the hotel to have drinks, dinner? She met with the wrong crowd. See, they need to know all that. And they definitely need to know if she is not identifying herself truthfully as her biological state. So I'm going out on a limb bringing this information. And eventually, somebody's going to tell the news she's transgendered. Because so far, I have not heard it in one news broadcast. I've not seen it in anyone's posting a video. So I decided to go out on a limb today to put this out here. Only because of the comments made under videos where I also commented. And it took me aback. And I thought, what the hell are they talking about? Look for a man. What do you mean look for a man? Because I did say that in one video. I said, huh? What do you mean look for a man? I said, that's rude. You shouldn't say that. Because like I said, I own that I think she's masculine looking. I will say that during the live. I will say that right here. Have no shame in saying that. But I've never said it to the chat, to a viewing audience. But I'm going to go ahead and say it now. Yes, she looks masculine. What I found on her Facebook page is suspect to people identifying with transgendered identities. That is found on her Facebook page. And I mean, I went through it thoroughly. And a lot of posts are of memes, men who look like men, but they're painted with makeup. So that told me a lot. And the first thing I thought was a female would not have this on their Facebook page. A straight female would not. That's my commentary for this morning. The next live stream will be pertaining to Bryson Muir. There's no bond for his parents. The judge deems them flight risk, Daniel and Kristen. She's 8 months pregnant. They have the next court appointment the 16th. I will discuss that a little bit later. He is in the state's custody. And there's also a no contact, I guess, for now. And they, on the 16th, will discuss bond and no contact on July 16th pertaining to Daniel and Kristen Muir, the parents of Bryson Muir. And once again, he is currently in the state's care. But I thank you all so much for following this network, your support. Welcome all new subscribers, new viewers, old viewers. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. That's my commentary for today. Feel free to go back to the beginning of the to this video for the replay. But I wanted to go ahead and say that and be done with it. If I catch hell, then I do. But I always tell myself, you're in a place for a reason. If you're in a chat hearing something that's striking you strange, there's a reason. If you are getting notifications from where you commented on a video and people are saying things that's similar, there's a reason. So I decided to go out on a limb today to say that possibly her identity is the reason that she may be missing. I cannot say. I was not there on the island when she went missing. But the one thing that's suspect to me is that Taylor Casey's, passport is missing, which is very strange and peculiar. But I don't hear anything about driver license or credit cards. So what's the last transaction on the credit card? That would be relevant as well. Where is that credit card, debit card, and also her ID? State of police have her journal. What's in her journal? What did she last write? Did she write something that day, that night? When did she actually go missing? Because, see, that's another thing. You're going by a version. He said and she said is all you're hearing. Oh, she was in a class at 4 o'clock. Oh, I heard the tent unzipping at 11:30, this and that. That doesn't mean anything to me. That doesn't mean anything. Phone found in the ocean. That doesn't mean anything. That's just more speculation. She threw it, she dropped it, or somebody threw it in there. Then you got to say, well, why would somebody throw her phone in the ocean? Or did she walk out there, threw her phone and drowned herself? I don't know. But see, that's the whole point. You have to know the temperament of the individual. And right now, I'm not here to say her temperament because I don't know her personally. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll be back later this afternoon with content pertaining to Bryson Muir and his parents. Have a wonderful 4th of July. Please be safe. If you decide to inbound, please have a designated driver. And if you decide to partake in fireworks, please use all safety measurements, and that goes for minding the children. And do not leave fireworks in the care of children, because children do not need to be exacting fireworks off as so they don't set fire to someone's home, mailbox, car, and also hurt themselves and others. Happy 4th of July to all of you. God bless you. Thank you for following this network. You have been listening to the Vault Excel. Thank you.